Facebook Live. Here we are. If you are joining me on the recording, our Christian Minson here. Just know that we take about 4 minutes or so to get people on, say hi to folks all over the world, and then we'll get started with the content. So if you want to go in about 4 minutes, you will get to the content. I'm welcoming back Gord Barrett, Lori Baker, welcome, welcome. Sorry for those of you joining on. Obviously, you know that we lost the connection and now we're reestablishing it. We have this dedicated internet just for these Facebook Lives, and that internet was working crappier than our other internet. Aisha, hey. Stephanie, back on, good. Claudia, welcome. Michelle Dixon, welcome. Shelly, welcome back. All right, we're getting most of the people back after that little mishap. Let's see, we're here. While we're waiting, I had a little mishap before we started. Little spill action, so I got off on the wrong foot. There we go, a little more light to illuminate the subject. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. You can tell me where you're from, say hi to me, give me thumbs up, give me little hearts on the page so I feel good. I will just get myself in order, get ready to talk, ready to fulfill the prophecy of great information coming your way. Portugal, Marjorie from Portugal, awesome. Doreen, hello again. Yeah, Michelle Dixon, spilly tea or coffee, if you will. Hey, from Denmark, hey, Gita. Gord, that's much better. All right, great. Thanks, Gord. I can always count on you to give me the true feedback. Oh, I'm getting hearts and likes and even some mad faces. I always love seeing the mad face come up. I'd never know if that's for real or somebody's just like, blah, 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 blah. Well, look at this. We got a lot of people joining on today. Hi, Gord. Stephanie's saying hi to Gord. Everybody's, that's what I love. We create a little family community here, and you guys connect over the Facebook Lives and over your Facebook page and all. Look at this. We're up to more people than normal. Something must be up about this topic. So let's get started. We're pretty much in there. Hello, Brandy from Colorado Springs and Linda from Chicago and all the rest of you. Alyssa from Los Angeles, Debbie from Arkansas. I love it. All over the place. Lots of US. Joan from England, East Hampton, New York. Ellis and Faye, namaste here. Change your name for people from my game. Right on, Faye. All right, so welcome everybody. I am R. Christian Minson, breathwork, director of the breathwork program here at Rythmia Life Advancement Center. Breathwork trainer for the last 12 years with the Transformational Breath Foundation. Former monk of 10 years. Speaker, author, contributing author to this book, Align, Expand, and Succeed, Shifting the Paradigm of Entrepreneurial Success, where we talk about merging consciousness and business. And being a breathwork-oriented person, I find the application of breathwork. In this book, I talk about how you can apply breathwork to making important decisions in your life. So you can get that at Rythmia Life Advancement Center when you come. Welcome today. Let's see, a few announcements before we get into the subject of the self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy, what we're talking about today, really looking at the power of our own mind and the expectations that we have and how that power delivers the experiences that we actually experience. And then if we don't like them, we're going to talk about how we can actually change those experiences. So before we get into that, let me mention, as the Breathwork Director, I am proud to announce that we've got Breathwork Week coming up November 17th. This is a week at Rythmia where there's no plant medicine. We may You may choose to do the plant medicine tincture if you know what that means, but no plant medicine. We're doing breath work as the main ceremonies throughout the week. And if you have come to Rythmia before, you'll know that I usually poll people at the end of the week, and at least half the group always feels that their breathwork experiences, their ceremonies with the breathwork, were as equally powerful as their ceremonies with the plant medicine. So breathwork can deliver the same type of experience that plant medicine can. And if you are with me on that, give me hearts and likes and all that. Then there's usually a handful of people, half a dozen or so, that think their breathwork experience was even more powerful than their plant medicine experience. So not only can it deliver on equal par, but in some cases, it can be an even higher level experience. And so we're doing this breathwork. So if you can't do plant medicine, if you're medically unable, if you're just unsure about really using it, or you've been told by your doctor or something, or maybe it's not part of your spiritual path or something, this breathwork week could be for you. You can experience the same sort of transformation, the same sort of miracle attainment that 95% of the people who come to Rythmia experience. So, it's not just the ceremonies itself, but the whole program that works together to deliver the goods for all of you. Greg Braden will be the guest speaker that week. Greg Braden, now a personal friend of mine, a really great guy, and totally loves the breath work and totally on point with his ideas and perceptions for helping elevate our consciousness. Just tuning in, people are saying hello to me. Hi, I'm not gonna mention by name right now, but hey, great. And seems to be a little bit of cross chatter there, welcoming people from similar groups from the past. So that was Breathwork Week. Then the end of the month of November 24th, pretty much right after Breathwork Week, is LGBTQ Week. So LGBTQ Week happens then, and we're really excited to offer this program to a very specific segment of the community. So if you are either LGBT or Q or friendly to any of those letters, come on down. It's going to be a great time. So let's get started. The self-fulfilling prophecy and how we use our own minds to create our reality. Hi from Sweden, excellent. And Gord loves Greg Braden, excellent, so do I. In a very, in a friend kind of way, right? So, why is this important? Why is this self-fulfilling prophecy a topic for today? So many people are caught up in situations that they don't like. You may be one of them. And oftentimes we don't realize that we bring them on ourselves, that our thoughts and feelings are secretly gestating the circumstances that then manifest into the experiences that we have in life. And indeed, from the spiritual perspective of life, as I mentioned, I was a monk for 10 years. And so everything I say has really been informed by that experience of living a dedicated spiritual life for such a long time. And now I just forgot what I was going to say about that. Well, it'll come back to me. Anyway, on the flip side then, we're getting into situations we don't like. We can put ourselves into situations, we can create situations that we do like. I remember, it was a while back, I come from San Diego, California, Encinitas to be exact. Anybody from out there, give me some thumbs and hearts. And I remember when I was relatively new there, when I still didn't know a whole lot of people, but I'd been invited to this 4th of July party, and it was this nice outdoor party in a house close by the beach in Encinitas. And as I was walking up there, I kind of got these pangs, these sort of feelings of anxiousness, or because it's a new situation and all. So I stopped for a moment, and I I breathed for a while, and I said, what do I really want out of this experience? What is it that, what am I actually going here for? And, I really thought about it and thought, I'm here with the intention to make deep quality connections, right? And that was really, I sat there and I felt the feeling. I felt this feeling of making some connections with people that day. And so I went into the party and, like I said, outdoor, barbecue type situation, veggie dogs on the grill, being vegetarian. And, just throughout the course of the day, there were many people I met that were great. And there was one guy in particular, a musician, so we connected on that musician level, me being a musician myself. But he ended up being a guy that really helped me get a number of just like gigs, job gigs throughout the coming months, and even went so far as he was sort of a headhunter type of guy, and he was working with Tony Robbins at the time, and he got me all the way up to an interview with Tony Robbins' wife to be the personal assistant for Tony Robbins. So that never panned out, and I think for the best for me ultimately. But that, when I went home that night, I recognized that the feelings that I had were the same feelings, the sort of the fulfilled feelings that I had felt when I was making that intention, that, to make these deep connections. And I realized that I'd not only made those connections, but it was these feelings that really told me that I was on track. So this is just an example of, how the self-fulfilling prophecy can work. So really, let's get into it. What are we talking about when we talk about self-fulfilling prophecy? Before I go any further, let's see, when is Graham Hancock coming? He was going to come in December, but he had to cancel for some kind of personal reasons. So he is not yet on the calendar for 2020, but I will let you know when he is. Christian, what's November 10th week? That is, I believe, Giovanni Bartolomeo. He does the Wim Hof method of breathing. He takes you in an ice bath. He's got his own little program based around that. A really great guy and really worth coming, Maya. So, does I always include snake visions? No, not always. Sometimes, though. And especially if you don't like snakes, it kind of helps you to learn how to like snakes, because they're really not bad. Some are poisonous, but not the kind that come to you in visions. Let's see, Jason joined up again. Lost connections are one of the main causes of depression. I hope you don't mean the lost connection I had earlier with the video. That definitely causes some depression for me. Yeah, Maya, so yeah, you know what Giovanni is all about then. Okay, so what is a self-fulfilling prophecy? Specifically, it's making a prediction or having a strong belief in something, that something's going to happen, and then it happens. Right? It comes about, but it usually comes about with your subtle efforts to make it happen. One of those ways is we get this idea that something's going to happen, and then we start looking for clues. And there's all sorts of clues that many things are happening, but we look specifically for the clues that reinforce that we know is going to happen. Now, a self-fulfilling prophecy doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, a prophecy about a bad thing. But when we talk about it, typically we're talking about somebody creating the negative circumstances in their life, because they're thinking negatively. They think, oh, this bad thing's going to happen, and then they start looking for the proof that it's going to happen, and they find the proof, and that reinforces the idea. So they move a little bit closer towards that thing happening. In the realm of infinite possibilities, we are subtly directing ourselves to the path that we ultimately are on. And so as we find more clues, we draw ourselves closer. We tend to ignore the clues, that could be telling us that really life could be going in a whole different direction. So, yep, I do need to get down there. Gord, we'll talk about that. Message me. So this is what we're really talking about then in this whole thing is the power of intention. A self-fulfilling prophecy is really usually an unconscious intention. So we want to be more conscious about our intentions, And an intention, especially a conscious intention, if you look at the word intention, that means to be in tension. When we create an intention, what we're essentially doing is creating this dynamic tension between where reality is now and where we want reality to be. So we start this energy in that direction. I often describe intention as like the magnetic spearhead. If you imagine a spear shooting in a direction, and it's like a magnet, and that magnet magnetizes the energy behind it to start moving in that direction. This is essentially what an intention is and what an intention does. And so the self-fulfilling prophecy is that same kind of magnet. Usually it's like, if you were to take an arrow and just randomly shoot it, that's kind of how we typically do our self-fulfilling prophecies. We think, oh, it's gonna happen like this. But as we get more focused and more intentional about our intentions, it's like taking aim at that bullseye and hitting it. All right, so let's see. First time for me, and this makes so much sense. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. All right, so we're really, within the self-fulfilling prophecy, then, we're really talking about intentions. And when we start becoming conscious that our self-fulfilling prophecy is largely unconscious, now we can start to choose how to consciously create intentions. And this is where we're going next. We want to learn how to set intentions. I would say not just any intention, but powerful intentions. How do we set powerful intentions? And part of this whole process of setting powerful intentions is to realize that languaging, how we speak, how we bring forth reality out of our mouths, it's essentially the blueprint for what happens. So our languaging is very important. And oftentimes, if you listen to how people language things, how they state things, there could be a variety of ways to say things. I could say, it's not raining today, or I could say it's sunny today, right? Both say the same thing, but there's a different energy behind each, right? If you're agreeing with me there, go ahead and give me some thumbs up and some likes and things. So the languaging is very important. So I've put together the 4 P's of powerful intentions, all right? 4 P's, 4 rules to follow that start with the letter P to create powerful, P for powerful intentions. All right, I'm getting some hearts and likes, so people are on board with me. So the first P, when setting a powerful intention, you want it to be positive. So positive, obviously, like the example I just said, it's not raining outside. Is that a positive or negative statement? It's not, I mean, negative like it's a bad statement, but as opposed to it's sunny outside. One of the clues is just that it's not raining. You're focusing on the rain, and so you're not focusing on what is, but you're focusing on what isn't, right? That basically is an indication that it's more of a negative intention. It's sunny outside is focusing on the sun, and so there's more positive. Now, it's okay. A lot of times we are more in tune with what we don't want than what we want. And that's so that's a good starting place sometime. If you know what you don't want, then we can state that, and then we start to look at the reverse. Let go of that, and once we've let go of that, what does it look like? So if we, for instance, rather than I want to quit smoking, if that was like an intention, that's really focused on what you don't want, and that keeps the energy ultimately around the smoking, right? Versus to make an intention like I breathe fully and freely, or I feel healthy and alive, right? This is focusing on how you're really going to feel after you quit the smoking. So the focus, again, the intention is ultimately the same, and both of those you want to be free from smoking, but one is still focusing on the smoking and not doing it, and the other assumes the smoking's gone and really goes for the state beyond the smoking, where your happiness lies when you fulfilled that intention. All right, so this is what I mean by positive. Another example, you could say, I want to get rid of anxiety. All right, so again, that's it's a good intention, right? Who wants anxiety in their life? But it's not a positive intention because we're still focusing on the anxiety itself. And the law of attraction tends to state that what we focus on persists. So even though we're saying, I want to be rid of anxiety, it tends not to look at what we want or don't want. It's just seeing that anxiety is in your consciousness. And so it tends to bring more opportunities to experience that anxiety. As opposed to, I want to live with more trust, or I want to live with more peace. Okay, so that again is focused on, once you've let go of the anxiety, what state is really present for you at that time? A state of trust, maybe, if that anxiety was caused by not fully being able to trust, or a state of peace, if that anxiety keeps you agitated. Where you really want to be is in this peaceful state. Okay, so this is P number 1, positive. And let me know if you have any questions on it as I'm going along, or you want to add anything to it, feel free. The second P, present. All right, so this means to state your intention in the present, as if it already is a reality, essentially. Here's where languaging really comes into play. Not, I'm going to be peaceful, or I want to be more trusting, but I am peaceful, I am trusting. So basically, I'm going to statements. Think about it. I'm going to be happy. So again, a good intention to be happy. However, I'm going to be happy subtly sets up in your mind that you're not happy right now. Happiness is a condition for the future. I'm headed towards it. But if you keep repeating that the next day, I'm going to be happy, you're subtly reinforcing that happiness isn't quite with you yet. You're going to get there, right? It's almost like the carrot in front of the donkey. If you ever seen that image, where they get a donkey to move often by dangling a carrot on like a fishing pole in front of the donkey. So the donkey sees the carrot, it moves towards it, wanting to eat it. And of course, that carrot just keeps moving, and the donkey keeps moving as a result. So this is what happens essentially when we use I'm going to language. So we want to use I am language, a language that states it in the now. I am trusting. I am peaceful. And a lot of people, counter that with saying, but I'm not that way. And I would like to step back and take a greater spiritual perspective and say, if you are wholeness, if you are one with God or the universal energy, if you are essentially the divine spark of that energy, then you already are everything. You already are the beauty, the trust, the peace, the joy, the bliss. It's already part of you. What we're really doing here in this life is like wiping off the mud. There's an analogy of like you've got a golden Buddha statue and then it's caked in mud. You don't see the gold. You just think it's a big mud clod. You start to wipe off the mud and you see the gold shining underneath. So the same way here, when we use that I am statement, we actually are stating the truth, the real truth of who you are. And that starts to jog you out of your delusional, hypnosis that you are something less than, or you are something not so great. See if anybody's saying anything. People are kind of talking about the program here, so don't want to bring up those kind of conversations right now. It's okay if you're having them, but we also have to feel what we are saying, right? If you say one thing and say the contrary, it won't manifest that easy. But we have to feel what we are saying, right? Yes, you have to feel, and you are getting ahead of one of my P's here. Yes, but if you say one thing, you say another, yeah, the contrary energy is going to keep you from that. Susie's saying you have to feel it, and it like it's already happening. So you guys are on to me here. Jill Diz joined. Hey, welcome. And I start every day with an I am mantra, stating all that I want or want to be. Beautiful, Brandy. And Vanessa, I am so happy hearing you talk today. Excellent, thank you. I'm happy that you're on. And Regine saying I needed this. That's what a lot of people say. That's why you're tuned in. I believe that my self-fulfilling prophecy, let's say, like, when I get on here, my intention is to deliver wisdom that comes from a higher source through me, ideally, to hit specifically the needs of people that are listening in this moment, to resonate on some level with those that are listening, so that they're not just wasting their time hearing me talk, as lovely as that may be, but that there's real value to you. So, I intend for that to happen, and I love it when it does. Hey, David. Hey, Megan. Right on. So that's so the first P, positive, keeping it positive. Second P, present. Stating an I am statement, stating it in the present moment, like it already is. The third P stands for pico. Pico in Spanish is little, basically. So short is what I mean by this. Keep your intention short, to make it a powerful intention. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a long intention, in the sense that there's a lot that you want out of life. But usually when setting an intention for a specific purpose, something, to keep it short really helps keep it focused. Again, imagine a spearhead that's this wide, it's going to be a lot harder to hit a specific target. It's much more like a grape shot with a shotgun. All the shrapnel goes everywhere. So keeping it short keeps it focused. In other words, we're not, the longer the intention, the more cerebral it tends to get. We have to remember it. We're like thinking about all these points, and it becomes a head game. And that is often where many of us dwell and get into trouble, is up here in the head. In fact, here at the Rythmia program, a common complaint is, when people are having a less than positive experience on the medicines, because they get into these head loops. And I always encourage people to go into their body and into their emotions and feel there. dwell in this realm, so you stay out of the head. I am discourses is fantastic reading. This is Jason saying, I am discourses is fantastic reading. So there's more on the subject. Okay, so the fourth P then, and many of you already clued into this, the fourth P is passionate. You want your intention to be passionate. In other words, imbued with feeling. And this, somebody mentioned, Greg Braden states this, you have to feel what it feels like to be in that state of your intention. In fact, if you achieve this feeling, in a lot of ways, whatever you're specifically intending to happen doesn't even necessarily need to happen. Let me give you an example. Say you want to be a millionaire. So, again, don't state I want to be a millionaire, but, I am a millionaire. And but when you get into that, really what it's about, what does it feel like to be a millionaire? Maybe you feel you want to be a millionaire to feel more adventurous, right? That you have, the means to go out and do interesting things. Maybe as a millionaire, you can be more relaxed, right? You feel like that would make you more relaxed because you wouldn't have to worry all the time about making ends meet or making financial decisions. Maybe it's just a sense of freedom. That money, that $1 million would give you this sense of being free, again, not being burdened by some of the basic things of life. Now, if you really tune in, and you tune in when you say I am a millionaire, you tune into this feeling of adventure, this feeling of being relaxed, this feeling of freedom. If you are able to sustain and achieve those feelings, what's the difference between you having that $1 million or not, right? In one sense, you've achieved your intention, because if you're feeling adventurous, you may just go out and have adventures. You really don't need $1 million to go out and be adventurous. Maybe you need $1 million if you're going to fly around the whole world 5 times, but you can find all sorts of adventures by stimulating that sense of adventure right in you. Or if you don't need $1 million to feel relaxed, and quite the contrary, I've heard from many people who have lots of money that getting that money actually creates more worries than any sense of relaxedness. So, but if being relaxed is what you're really after, and you can achieve that feeling, it doesn't matter whether that money is really there or not. You've got the feeling you're trying to achieve. Faye is saying another good one would be, I'm grateful for my finances, then anchor it as I'm explaining. Yeah, great. So yeah, I'm grateful for my finances, to say that whatever is present for me, and then feeling that gratitude, so that whatever comes your way creates a sense of gratitude. And the more we live in gratitude, the more that's an indication that our consciousness is on the rise. Gratitude, I think Michael Brown, who wrote The Presence Process, said something to the effect, I'm probably paraphrasing, but the more that you're in gratitude is an indication that you are in the presence. Of course, the presence process is about coming into the presence, and it's using breathing techniques, is why I love that book so much, to get there. And so to be in gratitude is to be in the presence. So as you are naturally in the presence, you feel grateful, and vice versa. By striving to feel grateful, you actually draw the presence into your experience. So thank you for that, Faye. I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to enjoy get rid of traumas that hold me back. So yeah, so enjoy the get rid of traumas that hold me back. There we'd say, that is not, it's a good intention. I want to enjoy the state of getting rid of those traumas that hold me back, but is it a positive intention? No, because it's still focused on the trauma, right, Margie? So really, what is that state after you've gotten rid of those traumas? What is that state that you're going to enjoy? Is that state peace? Is that state freedom? Is that state gratitude? Is that state love? Is that state belonging? Is that state trust? Is that, so get into that and get into that feeling. And, a lot of times the energy of those traumas just no longer have a grip on us. Jason, The Iron Discourses is a book by Saint Germain, channeled by Godfrey Ray King. It came out in the 1940s. Right, so there you go, everyone. Margie, yes, great. All of those, yes, excellent, excellent. So you're resonating with me. So, so the 4 P's, setting powerful intentions. You want it positive, not the negative, not what you're trying to get rid of. You can start there, but then flip it like 2 sides of a coin. The positive aspect, what you're going to experience after the negative thing is gone. Present, meaning here and now, I am this, not I'm going to be, or I want to be, or I hope to be someday. Pico or short, I am happy. I mean, that is short. That's it. Not I am, I don't have the brain capacity today to even think of a long intention, but you can just go on and on. I'm happy, I'm well, fed, I get up every morning at 6 o'clock and do, my exercises, and then I meditate, and then my weight is manageable, and blah, blah, blah. Again, all great intentions, but as it gets longer, it just gets cerebral. And then passionate. The number 1 P of them all is really to imbue your intention with the feeling that you actually want to be feeling. And in the achievement of that feeling, you've achieved more of your intention than you realize. So when do we set intentions then? When is a good time to set these positive intentions? The start of the day, for instance, as you wake up every morning, you can set an intention, set the vision and the tone for your day. How do you want your day to evolve? I know my day is peaceful, is prosperous, is full of loving connection and activity. And then you go out there and start, again, magnetizing it. That's the spearhead that you're following, and all your energy is backing that up. Rather than I want my day to be gloomy and full of negative people. And this is what we're creating this. So you wake up in the morning, and one of the monks used to say, do you wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, Lord"? Or do you wake up in the morning and say, "Good Lord, morning"? And both of those are really intentions, right? One is saying, it's going to be a great morning, and I'm connected to the divine. The other is saying, geez, put me back to sleep, please. I don't want to face this. And we do this, we wake up in the morning where we have this feeling, oh, I don't want to go to work because I got to face, that gossip Connie, and this person I've got is rubbing me the wrong way, and this and that. And then we go in there, and what happens? That person rubs you the wrong way, and of course you get offended by Connie's gossip and this and that. This is the nature of self-fulfilling prophecy. So we can set an intention at the start of the day. Okay. We can set an intention before any important life event, especially where you want a specific outcome. This may be when you're going on a date, or like, when I went to that party and, wanted to make some significant connections. This may be in your partnerships or, in your marriages. if you're running a race or you're in competition, you may want to set an intention for a specific goal to reach. You know, how many of you have ever won first place by saying, well, I want to come in third? You know, you got to say you want to come in first to get into first, and then you got to feel it. I've had a few of those experiences too, where I've actually won after visualizing myself winning. This was back in a speech contest. I got into, I've done public speaking for many years, and it was in this contest, and the you know, I sat there and I visualized myself speaking. I visualized the crowd really responding to me, laughing along with me, being there with me. And when I went out there and did the speech, when it was my turn, it was exactly like I visualized it. People were with me, people were laughing at every joke I made. I just had the audience in my hand, and of course I won the competition. And that, you know, I was like, wow, this stuff really works. So job interviews, before going to a job interview, what is it you really want to impress people with? Performances, if you're artistic or otherwise, you know, how do you want to, you know, before public talks, like I was saying, or like, again, before these Facebook Lives, or if you do anything where you interact with people. And then before important communications is a great time to set intentions. If in the past, in past relationships I've had, I've sat down with my girlfriend or whatever, especially if we've had, you know, have some troubling communication to get through, set an intention about how we want the communication to proceed, usually, you know, with harmony and with love being foremost and all that. That way you can say the hard things because you know, you're saying it in the spirit of these, you know, these higher qualities that you're intending. You know, if you're asking for a raise from your boss or something. So anytime you're involved in important communications would be a great time to set an intention. So let's see, everybody's talking to each other there. All right, at a place now where one of the clinicians worked with you on breathwork, very powerful. Thanks, Wyla. Who was that? Let me know. I'd love to know who was working with me here at Rythmia or worked with me prior to Rythmia. So getting into, you know, continuing on intentions, breathwork. I always try to bring breathwork in here somehow because breathwork is a powerful process for helping you reinforce your intentions. When you set an intention and then you start to work with the breath, which is really, we're working with the life force energy, which is the creative energy of life. We're actually circulating it around that intention, creating even a greater, a stronger frequency of that magnetic attraction, and pulling your energy even stronger in the direction of your intention. The other thing that's great in breathwork, if there's anything out of sync about your intention, like somebody was mentioning earlier, contra energy, if you got one thought on one side of your brain and the other thought, you know, negative thought on the other side, breathwork's going to reveal to you what you're, you know, whether what you're thinking is really good for you or not, and you know, can help you get on the track that's for your highest good. I need breathwork places in Houston. Can you recommend? Private message me and I will help you there, Dee. There are some people in Houston. So, yeah. And let's see where we're at. So breathwork can really help you to anchor in that intention and further your energetic connection to it, or help you to get in alignment with where your intention is out of alignment, and shore it up. And then, of course, if you really want to experience a program that's very focused on intentionality, well, here's the place to go. Rythmia. Rythmia, the whole program is based on intentionality, and we have 3 primary intentions that guide your experience along the way. Show me who I become, merge me with my soul at all costs, and heal my heart. These 3 intentions we found through our CEO Jerry's experience with his own plant medicine ceremonies, and through the evolution of the program, that these 3 intentions